The word multiculturalism has a range of different meanings and interpretations within the context of sociology and political philosophy, which I will try to explain in a bit more simplified way, as I myself grew up in a multicultural environment. In one word, if you are multicultural, you are a mutant and the black sheep of the family and society in one. I will tell you exactly how and why. I would be lying if I said it has always been easy, though. In fact, it has often been pretty complicated to be torn between two cultures. In my case, the German and the Persian. But it of course did have its benefits too, being raised in both cultures. It made me more eager and curious to explore and learn more. And in a way, it made me appreciate how truly different these two cultures are from one another, and yet how similar they can be. I have always felt quite cool to be able to speak the German and the Persian language fluently, as I'm a native speaker of both. If I ever wanted to gossip with my Persian best friend, I would just switch to Persian so no one would understand. And in the middle of a Persian gathering of non-German speakers, I can have a very private phone conversation in German. I think it is amazing, right? I mean, we do not need to go to the bathroom to share the latest gossip. We just need to switch languages. People often tell me it sounds like a secret code. And I mean, isn't it cool to have a secret code? Often I remind myself how great it is to speak multiple languages, and how thankful I am my parents gave me the opportunity to develop myself in both languages and cultures. In the Persian culture, family is highly valued and we often have our gatherings. Therefore, it is important that we master the language. But just like in the German culture, we love to celebrate different occasions with our loved ones. My friends always ask me why I celebrated Christmas when I was a little child. And it is not because we were focusing on not being Muslim or Christian, but because my parents wanted me and my brother to experience the cultural aspect of the environment we were growing up in, which is not only nice, but also essential. We would decorate our house, and we would go to the Christmas market with our German friends, and it was and it is still very nice to see what their culture has to offer, which is also partially mine, as I was never really locked up in the Persian culture only. Speaking of celebrations, Nowruz is the Iranian New Year and is one of my favorite Persian celebrations. Not only because of all the presents we receive, but also because of all the family gathers, and we set a beautiful symbolic table as important as a Christmas tree called Haftzin. It is a table filled with 7 items which begin with the letter S. My favorite part of both cultures is their kitchen, and it is quite interesting how suspiciously my German friends look at my Sabzevari, while my Iranian friends give me and my Kartoffelsalat judgmental looks. Compared to the German kitchen, Persian food is a lot heavier and includes many dishes with rice. Rice here, rice there, rice left, rice right. And my German friends are usually not used to eating rice, which is why my mom is so annoyed that she has to cook something else when they come over. Speaking of my German friends, their eyes widen 8,000 times when they enter our house. We used to have antique furniture and huge Persian rugs, which is pretty common in Persian households. They usually did not say anything, but they were quite shocked about how truly different we are in cultural aspects. And it is okay. I do really appreciate the difference, as it gives me a balance. For instance, the Germans enjoy beer, and while Iranians prefer tea, liters and liters of tea. One before and after each meal, and especially quite often when we have our gatherings with friends or family. But it has not always been easy, though. In fact, sometimes a multicultural life can one face unexpected and sometimes even unpleasant struggles. For me, my place of birth and lifestyle has never been a question. But sometimes I put my own identity and which side I exactly belong to into question. Am I German because I was raised here and I've never lived in Iran? Am I Iranian because I look like one and I was raised in an Iranian family? And usually I would just say it is complicated and the question would wander around my head the whole day. And sometimes it really brings me down having an identity crisis. When I was 11, I remember I would often lay in my bed staring at the ceiling, wondering if I'm now more German or Persian. And it took me some time to realize that cultural background is only part of someone's identity. Throughout our lives, we create ourselves. Often it is tough, and often it is strange, but at the same time, it is a blessing. Multiculturalism, it is black and white in one. It was and it is still sometimes hard to identify myself with one specific culture, and I've accepted that I will never be able to, because I'm carrying both cultures with pride in my heart. Multiculturalism has shaped me into the person I am today. And no matter how old we grow, we will always question our roots at certain moments in our lives. Yet what is truly valuable is the experiences that we will live through, which shape our true and personal identity, regardless of borders, languages, cultures, and origins. Thank you.